Live from WRAL News headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Our weather maker today is the heat. Temperatures will be well above normal. It's also really muggy out there. I'll show you when we'll have a round of thunderstorms later in the weekend.
And new sweeping tariffs this morning. World leaders are criticizing President Donald Trump's push to tax imports from around the world, how they could affect you.
Scary encounter. A daughter shares a warning after her mother says a man violated her at a Walmart.
The feeling of helplessness and fear.
And now her call for other women to stay vigilant and protect themselves.
And we are heading to the playoffs. The Carolina Hurricanes clinch a postseason berth after beating Washington. The fan celebration at the Lenovo Center from that huge win last night. They got that win 5-1 over Washington. They let them have one. That's it, though. We'll talk about that game coming up. Thanks for joining us here. I'm Michelle McConaughey in for NHU.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Thanks for making this part of your Thursday. Yeah, NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman was here. I have a sneaking suspicion it was just in case.
Just in case.
Ovechkin got the.
Yeah.
What he witnessed was a clinching of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's very nice. Elizabeth Gardner over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center as we start this warm spell here with some humidity out there.
Yeah, take a look at North Hills right now. Cloudy skies, it is warm, it is muggy, it almost feels like summer as you're heading out the door. 71 degrees. Our normal high temperature is in the upper 60s right now. Check out that dew point too at 66. That puts us way over on the muggy meter. So, you really feel it as you step outside. It feels like summer. 72 in Fayetteville, 71 in Durham, 69 right now in South Hill. Temperatures are 15 to 25 degrees warmer than they were this time yesterday. Not much on the radar right now because the particles of drizzle are really fine. But as we head through the morning between, say, 7 and 8, all the way really up to lunchtime, Futurecast is showing just a few isolated showers, little sprinkle. It's not going to be anything that measures up in the rain gauges, but expect a little sunshine later this afternoon. And that's what will really allow our temperatures to climb. We're way up in the mid 80s. But of course, as we get closer to the weekend, we could be breaking record highs. I'll show you, Ken.
6:02, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We have reports of Durham police working, Durham Fire, to say, working this situation right here on vehicle fire. We're told that it's just cleared in just the last couple of minutes, so really nothing to worry about. But it's a situation that they've been working for the last hour, so I'm not surprised it's clear. This is a live look at Fayetteville Road, the entrance and exit ramps onto I-40 this morning. Really, traffic is really delay-free as this hour. And all other major routes, as you can see, nothing but green showing up. You're getting ready to head out the door. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
The powerful storm system moving across the Midwest and Mid-South this morning has left a good bit of destruction behind. At least one person is hurt after an apparent tornado touched down right near Indianapolis overnight at this distribution center warehouse. It partially collapsed during the storm, trapping 3 people inside. Everyone was rescued, but one person was taken to the hospital. That person's condition is not known at this time. The storm also caused significant damage to the surrounding town.
At midnight, new tariffs went into effect. New tariffs on automobiles start today, adding to the previous tariffs on steel, aluminum, and other imports. And this morning, leaders from around the world are reacting to President Donald Trump's new round of sweeping tariffs. That includes a baseline 10% tariff on all imports starting on Saturday. The European Union is preparing countermeasures to Trump's new tariffs on its exports. The EU's president calls the tariffs a major blow to businesses and consumers worldwide. China's Ministry of Commerce is calling on the U.S. to immediately cancel the tariffs. And economic officials in Israel say they are in complete shock over tariffs against them. So here's what's included in the tariffs. At least 10% on every American trading partner. Countries that Trump terms the worst offenders will face higher tariffs starting April 9th. That includes 54% on China, 24% on Japan, and 20% on the European Union. He also announced a 25% tariff on all foreign-made vehicles. That tariff goes into effect today.
6:04 here in the WRAL Live Center. Michelle, I'm monitoring right now the U.S. futures from overnight. I mean, look at this. You see the Dow Jones down 1,111 points. S&P 500 down 186, and the NASDAQ down 719. And again, this is before the opening bell, so we'll be watching very closely to see how investors are reacting to this. Another thing that I'm monitoring are some of the headlines coming out from across the world. You were talking about some of those world leaders. The Associated Press has some here. I kind of put it up in this area towards the left of the screen. But India wants to expedite talks with the U.S. in terms of trade. Stock market in Vietnam plunges and people rush to buy gold. And lastly, the German minister calls Trump's tariffs the most disruptive in 90 years.
And also, Chris, we're seeing reaction this morning from North Carolina lawmakers about these new tariffs. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is outside the state capitol this morning. And Kelsey, these reactions seem to be going right along party lines.
Yes, Jeff, as those auto tariffs went into effect at midnight, we're now hearing from North Carolina lawmakers. North Carolina Democratic Congresswoman Deborah Ross is condemning the tariffs. She says the tariffs will stifle the growth of jobs and businesses in North Carolina and threaten a recession. Republican Congressman Pat Harrigan posted to X, sending a message to world leaders. He says, if you want access to the most powerful economy in the world, treat us fairly. If not, don't expect a free ride. We checked in with NC State economist Mike Walden about these tariffs. He says that this could eventually lead to more jobs in the U.S. and more manufacturing based in the U.S. In years to come. But for now, this could only lead to much higher prices. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And Governor Josh Stein also posted reaction to the tariffs on X, saying agriculture is the backbone of our economy. A trade war closes markets to North Carolina farmers. I am focused on lowering costs for North Carolina families, and these tariffs won't do that.
Covering Wake County today, we'll get an update on a $3 billion development in Apex. It's called Viridia, and construction, it's happening right now. WRAL's Eric Miller joins us from Apex this morning. Eric, this is going to be one of those huge mix of residential housing with shopping spaces as well.
And Michelle, in this case, huge is almost an understatement. We're talking $3 billion of investment here, 1,200 acres that's set to be converted to shops, restaurants, hotels, apartments, office space, all of it jammed onto that property. And the thing is, when you put that much stuff in that little space, there's a chance that it could start straining the infrastructure of a town like Apex. That's why town leaders, as well as the developer RXR, are holding a special ceremony today, marking the creation of a new, of all things, water treatment plant. The developer is putting forward $166 million to make sure this new plant happens. It'll benefit both Viridia as well as the surrounding Apex community, which, of course, is one of the fastest growing places in the state. And when this development is completed, there'll be more than 8,000 apartments there, among other things. Those first apartments scheduled to open in 2027 at this point. Of course, we'll be watching very closely to see what happens at this afternoon's ceremony. In Apex, Eric Miller, WRAL News.
Cary Police Department is trying to find a man accused of sexual assault inside a Walmart. A 72-year-old woman says she was in that Walmart on Kildare Farm Road when she felt someone bump her from behind, and as the bumping continued, she turned around and saw a man pressing himself against her. When she yelled, the man ran off. Her daughter says this experience makes her worried for her mom's safety and for other women as well.
It makes you wonder if this can happen in our neighborhood Walmart or maybe a grocery store. What could happen if we were out in the parking lot really, truly alone?
And we reached out to Walmart and received a statement that says the safety of our customers is always top priority, and we are working with law enforcement as they investigate.
Today, the Duke Blue Devils are in San Antonio getting ready for the Final Four. This is video of their bus arriving at their hotel last night. And this afternoon, we'll hear from Coach John Shire. He'll address the media during a news conference at 2:55 p.m. The team shared these photos to social media last night, showing players practicing at the San Antonio Spurs training facility. Earlier in the day, supporters gathered outside Cameron Indoor Stadium to give the team a send-off celebration. The Blue Devils play Houston on Saturday night at 8:49. The winner will advance to the national championship game on Monday night. And we want to see how you're supporting the Blue Devils, whether you're cheering from Durham, hitting the road for San Antonio, or anywhere in between. Send your selfies, videos, and pictures to WRAL.com/reported. We'll share them on TV and online.
Carolina Hurricanes are going to the playoffs. The Canes clinched their 7th straight trip to the postseason with a 5-1 win over the Washington Capitals last night at the Lenovo Center. Fans packed the arena for this big game you saw on WRAL against the Eastern Conference's leading team, and they went happy home once again. Canes have now won 30 times in their home barn this season in just 39 tries, all at the Lenovo Center this season.
Connecting with the community, Raleigh's new police chief is officially sworn into the role. His plans to increase staffing to keep the city safe.
Retiring the name Helene is officially off the list for future storm names. The hurricane forecast releasing that today with the season starting in less than 2 months.
And today it feels like summer. It's really warm and muggy out there. We take a look at your outdoor dining planner. It won't be too bad at lunchtime at 78, but really warming up this afternoon to 85 degrees. I'll show you when we'll see our next best chance for rain.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13. A couple sprinkles have been showing up this morning on Dual Doppler 5000 radar. A lot of times the drizzle that we see in this sort of a weather pattern is kind of hard for the radar to pick up, but we do have a 20% chance of just a little patchy light rain or some drizzle up through around lunchtime. Then after that, we should see a bit more sunshine. Definitely, we have the tower, top of the tower lit in purple for the potential for some light sprinkles out there for today. Our temperatures are really warm and it's muggy. 68 Roxborough, 69 in Rocky Mount, 71 in Durham, and 72 in Fayetteville right now. Exercise forecast, it's not going to be the optimal day, but it's not going to be terrible either. It's just going to be a bit warm and muggy this morning, but turning hot this afternoon. High temperature of 86 degrees. Ken?
Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Elizabeth just mentioned the light rain that you're seeing out there, and that's what we're seeing, those light green areas there on our traffic map this morning. We got reports of Raleigh police working this crash on Durley in the eastbound lane near Edwards Mill Road. We're not picking up any delays in that particular area, but just watch for some police activity. But elsewhere, all the major routes are delayed, particularly in Wake County. And Jeff, coming up in less than 5 minutes, we'll look at some of the major routes in the Bull City.
All right, looking forward to that. Ken, thank you for the update. New Raleigh Police Chief Rico Boyce is sharing his plans to keep the community safe. Now, Boyce was officially sworn in during a ceremony last night at Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School. He says his priorities for the department include employee development and wellness, community engagement, crime reduction strategies, operational efficiency, and accountability and leadership.
25 years, I want this department to be well over 1,000 officers. I want us to be able to use technology to engage our community in a positive way. I want us to have ongoing conversations where the community understands what we do as police officers.
Chief Boyce says his goal of expanding RPD's relationship with the community has already begun with the return of the Cops on the Block popular program.
In the midst of a busy tax season, thousands of previously fired IRS employees will be back on the job in about 2 weeks. Around 7,000 employees were emailed details about their reinstatement yesterday. The Trump administration fired the employees in February. That move blocked by a judge last month. Employees should be back on the job full time by April 14th.
Air traffic controllers at Ronald Reagan National Airport are getting some additional support. The Federal Aviation Administration is sending a critical incident stress management team to the airports near Washington, D.C. This comes after several incidents since the start of 2025, including the deadly collision between a military helicopter and commercial plane. The FAA says it will also hold regular wellness checks.
Commuters call it a nightmare, the ongoing construction on I-440. There is no getting around it. Construction barrels and closed lanes along 440 from Cary to Raleigh. It's been a logistical nightmare for commuters for years. The widening project was slated to be completed in the summer of 2023, but delays have dragged on. Viewers asked us when will closed lanes and construction barrels be gone for good?
They're an eyesore, especially when I'm trying to merge and someone else is not letting me merge.
And WRAL dug deep to get answers for you. When will I-440 construction be done? Tonight at 6, see the newest timeline for crews to complete it and make your commute safer.
It was quite a spring storm that brought blizzard conditions to Minnesota. This is video from Duluth. As much as 7 inches of snow fell in some areas over the last 24 hours. Wind gusts neared 40 miles per hour overnight. The storm moved out this morning, and mild temperatures could help melt that snow fairly quickly. But there are more chances of snow in the coming days there.
Helene is among the hurricane's names being retired in the wake of the deadly 2024 hurricane season. Helene was the deadliest U.S. hurricane since Katrina in 2005. Around 250 people were killed. The World Meteorological Organization Hurricane Committee retires names of storms that have been especially deadly or destructive. The names Beryl and Milton will also be retired. And today we'll get our first look at what the 2025 hurricane season could bring. Colorado State University will release results for this year's forecasted hurricane activity. It includes the expected total of named storms and hurricanes that will form, as well as the number of storm days. The college then updates the forecast in June, July, and August. And the hurricane season officially begins on June 1st. And here's hoping that it will be a very quiet hurricane season compared to what we saw last year.
Oof, definitely.
Yeah.
NC State puts out a forecast, and the National Hurricane Center does as well. So it'll be interesting to see, what everybody thinks about it. And we'll be talking more about that, of course, later on today. It feels almost like hurricane season when you step outside. It's moist, it's muggy, it's warm out there. It's cloudy. Fayetteville, Raleigh, Apex, Chapel Hill, all in clouds this morning. Really, everybody is. Chapel Hill's courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. We'll jump on ahead and talk about what's happening out there. This is a look at the big picture. Powerful line of thunderstorms. It's back off to the west right now, and that's produced a lot of storm reports, lots and lots of tornado reports across parts of the Midwest. Of course, the tornado reports are the red circles. The blue circles are hail, and the gray circles are wind damage. And so this has been a very powerful storm system. And even though it's not too far to our west, it's not headed here anytime soon, not until Sunday night into Monday and a much weakened state. What are we seeing this morning? Lots of cloud cover, and as we get closer to 8 o'clock, you can see a few sprinkles that pop up. None of that will really be measurable, but still it may cause you to have to, run your windshield wipers. During the afternoon, a few more breaks in the clouds, a little bit of sunshine will allow us to climb on up into the mid 80s. Okay, so our next weather maker is this front that is going to create severe storms and heavy rain across parts of the Midwest for the next several days. This high pressure system is going to stay put, and so will the low. So the two systems are going to be blocking this front, and this front, of course, will continue to produce some very heavy rain. We're going to see a lot of tropical moisture coming out behind that high into our area, but the rain stays to the west until that high moves eastward. This is a look at the amount of rain that we can see across parts of the Midwest. The brown shaded area is going to be 7 to 10 inches of rain, and we're in the purple here for parts of the area, which could mean as much as 2 inches, and that would be some much needed rain for us. Today, the main severe weather threat is going to be from West Tennessee down through Missouri with a level 3 risk for folks there. For us, of course, we're watching the weekend closely. We have so many visitors in town for the Dreamville Festival. It's going to be hot and humid, 89 Saturday and 87 on Sunday. We do have the chance for that front to come through Sunday night. Sunday at lunchtime, everything looks good. But by 8 or 9 o'clock, we're starting to see some rainfall accumulate. So that could affect the concert goers. That rain will continue overnight into Monday with anywhere from maybe 1 to 2.5 inches. So that's definitely some much needed rainfall. But if you're headed to Dreamville, keep checking back as we get some of the newer runs of the computer models. Will have a better idea of exactly what time that rain may start and what it will look like.
And Elizabeth, we're seeing some of those damp road conditions showing up here on our traffic map this morning. And really just a minor crash on Edwards Mill and Durley Road. Also in the Bull City, Chapel Hill, Hillsborough, all those major routes are delay free. Let's check out one of those major routes in the Bull City. I-885 and TW Alexander Drive. You can see those damp road conditions there, but not causing any problems for you this morning. But elsewhere, all our other major routes are delay free. You're getting ready to head out the door. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Standing up for classmates, 2 NC State students studying for their master's degrees have their visas revoked. Why fellow students are demanding they be reinstated at the university.
And meeting the Good Witch. A small group of fans got a sneak peek at the sequel to Wicked, what they're saying about the unreleased 3-minute trailer.
Here's a look at your winning lottery numbers, and it sounds like what's trending is next.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Some lucky Wicked fans got a first look at the upcoming sequel.
Ken Smith here now with a wicked good What's Trending.
Talk about being right place, right time, right? A 3-minute trailer of Wicked for Good was shown at the CinemaCon event in Vegas last night. Now, that video has not been made public. Now, people who saw it say it looked incredible, and the snippet of the song No Good Deed was a particular highlight.
I cannot wait for this. So, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, they both showed up, both dressed in black, which is interesting because Ariana Grande is Glinda the Good Witch, and she always wears pink. So a lot of people are like, why did they both wear black? But Cynthia Erivo said she's ready to get back on the road, and she has her tissues packed. So we'll have to see.
She's ready to stop being painted green, too.
Maybe.
It was quite the buzz.
Yeah.
Hey, the baseball season just off to a great start. LA Dodgers star Shohei Ohtani staking an early claim for a 4th MVP award, and fans want to cash in. He hit a walk-off homer to give the Dodgers a win on his bobblehead night. What timing, right?
Yeah.
Some of those bobbleheads, by the way, are already on eBay with price tags into the hundreds of dollars.
Of course.
Oh, that shouldn't shock anybody. That's a Hollywood ending also on your own bobblehead night. Fans, they were lined up for hours before this game, and it backed up traffic out there. It's the first of 4 bobblehead nights, Shohei Ohtani bobblehead nights for them. And they all just sat around saying, I like it, yeah.
People love Shohei
They're onto
Ohtani.
something there in Chavez Ravine.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Ken. Well, an exciting announcement for the gamers out there. Nintendo's new Switch console will be released June 5th. It starts at just under $450. The Switch 2 has a bigger, higher resolution screen compared to the original Switch. It can run games at a higher frame rate, making them appear smoother. Nintendo also revealed a new Mario Kart game for the console as well.
April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. The Apex Police Department invites the public to help plant a pinwheel garden to raise awareness. It's happening at 11:30 this morning on Saunders Street. After the planting, there'll be a community walk, and participants are encouraged to wear blue.
Well, an airplane scare. Passengers forced to leave through the emergency exits after landing. What American Airlines says caused this scary situation on a flight out of Charlotte.
And no weather issues for your commute this morning, but as you step out the door, you're going to notice it's really warm. Temperatures close to 70, and it's muggy too. We're in for a hot day today, but almost a record high for tomorrow. I'll show you how much hotter it gets as we head toward the weekend.
Playoff bound, Canes fans are celebrating their team's 7th straight postseason bid. Their celebration after a big win over rival Washington at the Lenovo Center.